Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy December the 3rd. We are on that final countdown to a big year of 2021. So welcome everyone to our virtual Friday hosted by your Kingsport Chamber. We are pleased to have everyone back from our last virtual Friday and welcome all new participants. This virtual Friday is going to be a little different. We're going to offer a networking meet and greet section for our attendees later on in the program. We hope that everyone will enjoy this opportunity. This month's sponsor is Kaplan Cfo Solutions, which is a cohesive team of experienced chief financial officers working side by side with small to mid-sized business owners across Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, and the upstate. We appreciate your sponsorship for this morning's program, and we look forward to hearing from you in just a few minutes. Greg Perdue, 2021 Kingsport Chamber DKA Chair and Commercial Banking Relationship Manager with First Horizon Bank, will give this morning's invocation. Welcome, Greg.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks, Ramona. I'm excited to be here with all y'all this morning as we are headed into this virtual Friday with Kaplan Cfo Solutions, a company I know pretty well, and so glad to have them with us. And I'd ask that y'all would, let's bow your heads and we'll open with prayer. Heavenly Father, we're just so grateful for this day and for the opportunity we have to gather, whether it be in person or virtually. We're just grateful for the freedoms we have to just come together in fellowship. And we're just thankful for the business leaders and the civic leaders that are coming together. We're all looking to advance the interest of our community and to just enhance what makes this such a great place to live. And we're grateful for Kingsport and for the ability to just enjoy such a great city to live in. And we're mindful this morning that as we come together and learn more about ways that we can advance the economic interest of the community, that you'd help us also be mindful of ways that we can just live out your will for us during this holiday season, that you'd help us to be a little kinder, a little more patient, a little more open to helping others, and just may your Spirit lead and guide us throughout the next few weeks as we celebrate the holidays and the Christmas season. And we just pray for the speakers this morning. We pray for the audience that we might have open eyes, ears, and minds to the material that's being presented, and that you would just be glorified in all that we do. And we ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen. Back to you, Ramona.
Thank you, Greg. Now we would like to introduce today's sponsor, the CEO of Kaplan Cfo Solutions, Ken Kaplan, and partner with Kaplan Cfo Solutions, Mike Holt. If during their presentation you have any questions, feel free to ask those questions in the chat, and they will be happy to answer it after their presentation. Gentlemen, the screen is yours.
Well, thank you very much. Next slide, please. Really, they say in a marriage that there is no greater stress than financial stress. And I think most of us would agree that's probably the same in business as well. You know, every year in business, unfortunately, 1 in 12 businesses fail. And really, financial issues are really the primary reason why that happens. At least that's what's been identified. So you really you're either moving forward or backward in business. And if you move too quickly in either direction, then the business has some very significant problems. So what are those problems? As you know, why are we struggling? Do we have enough cash flow to survive? Can I borrow my way out of this? And even fast-growing companies have struggles as well. How do I fund my expansion? How do I ensure strategic growth? And how can I be profitable but be constantly struggling for cash? So we call these companies in transition. Often the owner doesn't have the resources they need to do what needs to be done to put the company on solid footing. Next slide, please. So that's where we come in. Now I think the one after that. Hope we got the right presentation. It doesn't look like we do. There you go. Okay. So we're Kaplan Cfo Solutions. We were created in 2008, and we have 12 CFOs who really represent a wide range of experience and industries. Our clients are located here in the Tri-Cities, across Western North Carolina, and in the upstate of South Carolina. And they all have one thing in common. They're all in transition, and they all need help getting to the next level. Next slide. Okay, so a little bit about who we are and what we do. These are the CFOs in our firm. And really, one of the biggest strengths of our firm is our breadth and depth of experience. Each of our CFOs have 25 years of C-level experience. Most of our CFOs have experience either owning or managing business. So we really understand the issues our clients deal with. It's important to point out that we're not a franchise and we're not an outsourcing business. The CFOs that you see here work for our firm, but they also work for our clients. They actually work in our clients' business. And we're a very tight-knit group, and we meet regularly to bring our cumulative experience to bear for the benefit of our clients. So how do we work? Next slide. So let me tell you what we don't do. We are not a firm of consultants. We do not work at arm's length. We actually work on site as part of the client's management team. Sometimes that involves project level work. And these could be short-term projects like helping a company raise debt, preparing a client for their year-end audit, planning for ownership transition, maybe doing a cost study. There's all types of short-term products that we do. We work with with companies helping them get the ERC credit. But more typically, our engagements are what we call embedded engagements. There are longer engagements that actually last from either a few months to several years. You're going to hear about that from Karen Short in a few minutes. But an embedded engagement is designed for companies who need C-level financial leadership, but aren't ready for a full-time CFO. So how does that work? Well, you determine how many days per week you need that CFO, and that can be scaled up or down as needed. That CFO, one of our 12 people, works on site doing everything you would expect from a full-time CFO, overseeing your bookkeeping or accounting department, managing the cash flow, long-term strategic planning, financial growth, financing growth, negotiating, buyouts or sales of a business, and helping you develop that continuing business strategy. So you pay for that CFO because we actually put that CFO on your payroll. And we do that because we want that person to be a member of your management team. And it's interesting because actually right now our average engagement lasts about 3 years. But when our job is finished and you're either on full firm financial footing, or maybe you've grown enough that you're ready to hire a full-time CFO, we will help you recruit, hire, and train that full-time CFO. We also have remote options. We are also, because as you can imagine from the pandemic, we've actually begun to do some remote engagements, and where we don't have to come into your office. We've got companies that really work in a virtual environment, so we're able to do that as well. Next slide. So what I would like to do is introduce you to Karen Short. She is the CEO of Universal Companies, which is a leading distributor of spa and salon products in Abingdon, Virginia. She's a client, Universal Companies, that went through the full cycle with us. We put Mike Holt into her company. He was there with that company for, I guess, maybe 2 years or so. And when the time came, he replaced himself with a traditional full-time CFO. So Karen, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? It looks like I'm still on mute. Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you, Ken. And thank you everyone for allowing me to share my experience with Kaplan Cfo. had just recently taken over as CEO of Universal Companies and knew that we were going to need to make some leadership changes across the board. And of course, the financial leadership piece being absolutely critical. The company, 40-year-old company, was at a point where we had just recently gone through 2 acquisitions with the idea of improving not only top line, but bottom line, and had actually had the opposite effect. And so we were heavily burdened, and we're still integrating 2 other companies. So there was quite a bit to tackle from a financial perspective, and certainly from my perspective as a new leader in this role. So Mike's experience and leadership was critically important as he calmly and confidently managed through a number of issues. The first and foremost being the challenge of significant turnover in the accounting team, which can be a challenge in any company, but particularly given where we were at our point in time. Equally, if not more so important, was he provided the financial transparency to the management and to our board to help us truly understand how we were doing and what resources were really needed to overcome the challenges we were facing. I'll give you a couple examples of what those were. With one of our recent acquisitions, we had acquired an operation in Shanghai and Hong Kong, of which being a domestic company for 40 years, we really had no idea what we were doing over there. And so that was a really, really challenging area for us. But the CFO experience of Mike, really, he had worked internationally, and that was critical. And so he was able to actually help us navigate banking, navigate third-party accounting firms, and really provide financials that helped us to understand where we stood and improve the operations over there. Another example is tax and Nexus. We are a company that's selling in every state in the country, but had not yet really established our Nexus, which is, for those of you that are familiar with that, can be a very kind of scary proposition in terms of potential liability, and a lot of work to get set up and cleaned up. And he helped us navigate through that. We had added multiple new e-commerce channels, and Amazon, and our e-commerce website, and of course the payment process there can be a little bit tricky as well. And he was able to help us set up through all of that. And last but not least, we had recently had, on top of everything else, had brought on board a new ERP, which was not fully built out. And so he led the charge in terms of developing further functionality to improve the finance efficiency for that team. So really quite a bit to tackle, and he jumped right in. He was immediately a member of our team and providing leadership. In addition, he took on managing our banking relationships, increased our line of credit. And then, as Ken mentioned, he eventually replaced himself with a very robust CFO. We couldn't be happier. Of course, we were very, very sad to see Mike leave, but he onboarded Ken, Ken, but Scott, our new CFO now. He's been with us, about a year and doing very, very well. Mike still remains a confident and I guess you would be advisor, if you will, for both Scott and myself. When issues come up, we feel free to call him. He jumps right in. And of course, he's familiar with the business, so it makes it that much more effective when he provides us with advice. But that all being said, I think some of the most important things that Mike provided for us did not really show up on the balance sheet. I was new in my role, as I mentioned on the onset, and he truly became my partner. He helped me navigate decisions when I really was unsure of what was, what the right next move would be. And he really helped me establish confidence in my role, which is so, so important, not only for me and my team, but for the founder, the board, to be able to see that evolution and growth. And of course, he, through his 2 years journey with us, mentored many, many of our younger members of the management team. So, my thoughts after having gone through this experience, which I couldn't recommend them more highly for all the reasons I've mentioned, and many, many more. But, I believe any business that's aggressively either growing or trying to navigate major transitions, such as was the case for Universal, would really benefit from this kind of relationship. Mike provided us, he was a trusted, really experienced CFO and a partner, and he really helped us understand our strengths and weaknesses as we navigated through the challenges. So very, very important partnership. And again, I think for those of you that are growing and transitioning, I couldn't recommend them more. I think really difficult to place a value on him, truly, Ken. And thank you again. And thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. We really appreciate that. It's I think Mike would tell you, Mike, you might want to say something. I'm sure you really enjoyed working. It was really a fun engagement for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely loved it. It was a challenge, but to meet the management and the people there was a great experience for me. I loved every minute of it. I still miss being there.
If we can go to the next slide.
Ken,
Again,
I was just
thank you,
going to
Ken.
say, Ken, this is
Yeah.
Karen. I just want to add one kind of a little humorous thing. For those of you that are not familiar with Universal Companies, we are in the spa and wellness business. And so we supply to estheticians, massage therapists, et cetera. And everyone that works at Universal has to be a guinea pig. And so just in the spirit of teamwork, Mike was willing and took on trying new products and treatments and so forth. So I think that was above and beyond. And so thank you for that, Mike, as well.
I
I don't know
enjoyed it
about you,
all.
but I'm not sure I consider that above and beyond.
He didn't know what he was getting himself into on that front, that's for sure.
Okay, can we go to the next slide, Justin? No, next one. All right, well, I think somehow we got the wrong, no, one more, keep going. Okay, that one. No, the one you were just on, that works. So if I had to sum it up, the key value we bring our clients would be that we really make it affordable for small to mid-sized companies to have access to the experience and leadership of a veteran CFO. And if you're a company that's even $2, $3, $4 million in annual revenue, or a company that's $50 million in annual revenue, it's pretty hard to access CFOs with 25 years of experience on a fractional or part-time basis. So that's really what this model does. And we take the burden of financial management off the CEO or the owner, so that the owner can really focus on on other areas of the business. And of course, we provide mentoring for the younger members, as Karen said, of the management team. That seems to happen a lot. And we feel like we're physically there for the CEO or owner as a peer and as a sounding board as to help them navigate change. Next slide, please. And then I want to talk a little bit about our referral partner network and the value that we're able to extend through that. This is a network of vetted, locally trusted providers who are lenders, attorneys, accountants, HR consultants, like Sesco up there, with whom our CFOs have developed solid working relationships. And as a micro community, we advocate for each other. We share best practices. And when the situation warrants, we refer one another into our client engagements. I think that benefits the client. It offers opportunity for the referral partner and enables us to provide added value. I'm sure I'm going to introduce you to Mike Estes in a second, but of course I know Greg Perdue's on this call. There's probably some other bankers and hopefully some attorneys on this call as well. And that is what we call our referral partner network, people that we know very well and we're very comfortable to bring into a client as the need arises. Next slide, please. So I would like to introduce real quickly, and then we'll be done. Mike Estes, he's the as an example of how we work with our referral partners on behalf of the client. Mike is he's the Senior Vice President and Chief Lending Officer for First Community Bank. And we have a number of CFOs, of course, Mike Holt up in Kingsport, but we have a number of CFOs that have been working closely with Mike Estes. So Mike, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. I appreciate it. Very happy to discuss Kaplan CFO. As Ken mentioned, I've worked with several of their partners over the years now, I guess, and I've found them to be very, very helpful in looking at pretty complex financial structures. And one of the things that they bring to the table is you can't find the level of expertise that their group of CFOs has in many organizations, much less the types of organizations that they tend to be able to help the most, which are kind of that small to mid-sized market. And I knowing I guess going into a project, knowing that they're handling it or they're handling it from a CFO perspective, certainly brings a lot of expertise to the table, and something that I feel like I can rely on pretty heavily, particularly when we're looking at making credit decisions. But I've seen them go into businesses that are fairly young businesses that are growing tremendously. I've also seen them work with more mature companies that maybe are looking to try to boost profitability. Maybe they haven't had a true CFO in place. And in every case after case, I've seen them add value time and time again. Again, when they refer something over to us, we have a very high level of confidence, even before we see any financial statements at all, that this is a client we generally going to want to try to work with. But on the other hand, too, we've run into situations where we have our own clients that we feel like could utilize their services as well. So it's been a two-way street from day one, really. Like I said, I have a high level of confidence in their CFO partners that when we do refer a business over to them, they're going to be able to come in and make an immediate impact. So I wholeheartedly feel like the relationship with Kaplan CFO has been a very good one. I think for both parties, and certainly for the clients that we serve. So I couldn't be more of an advocate for what they do.
Well, thank you, Mike. And Justin, if you can go to the last screen. Mike, we really appreciate that. We've been in the market now, in the Kingsport market, I think for 3+ years, and really just enjoyed this market, and just a really great group of people to work with. And we also really want to thank so much for everybody and their support of the Kingsport Chamber. Thanks as always to Andrea and Stephanie and their staff for the work they do to help and sustain the Kingsport business community. So thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you, Karen and gentlemen, for your wonderful presentation. Now, Julie Dixon, Northeast Tennessee Regional Coordinator with Isaiah 117, will share some exciting things that are going on with Isaiah 117 House and how you can get involved.
Well, thank you all so much for inviting me on this meeting this morning. So in Sullivan County, we exist to reduce trauma on the day of removal for a child. A lot of times when kids come into DCS custody, they go sit at the office. And so we had this dream that we would have a house. And so we now are quickly taking over the whole United States. We're in 6 states now with 29 expansions going on. We currently have 7 locations open, Sullivan County being one of them. We opened back in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. And this year we are really seeing the effects of the pandemic. In Sullivan County, we've already served over 300 kids through our Red Doors, just in Sullivan County this year. And we've partnered with DCS to provide anything that kids need when they come into custody, almost 200 more kids, which is unbelievable. Our numbers are up And a lot of the caseworkers are saying it's because of the pandemic. Everybody thought kids were safe at home, and they really weren't safe. And so in Sullivan County, ways to get involved is we are always needing volunteers to come in and love on these kids. And so you can go to our Facebook page or our website and reach out that way. We are always needing brand new clothes. Every time a kid comes into custody or comes to the house, they get 3 or 4 brand new outfits, 2 or 3 pairs of pajamas, socks, shoes, underwear, anything that kid needs to go to placement and make it successful. So we are always needing new clothing, new shoes, anything that a kid would need, hygiene items, pillows, blankets, but everything we give is brand new. So I just want to say thank you again for letting me hop on here. And that's it.
You, Julie. Julie, if people wanted to get more information about how to donate with sizes or the things that you would need, they can go to your website and find that information, correct?
Yes, ma'am. And we also have a Facebook page just for Sullivan County. And so we post a lot of needs on there also.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I mean, such a wonderful place for our community, knowing that it's the circumstances that we don't want any children to be in. So thank you so much to you and the Isaiah 117 house.
Thank you.
Now I would like to welcome Madison Smith, marketing coordinator with Cosby, to discuss what exciting things are happening with our small businesses. And I guess I'm getting welcome Andrea.
Yes, you're getting me, Ramona. Good morning.
Yay! And that beautiful Christmas tree.
Yes, happy holidays. So what's happening at Cosby's right now, we are getting ready for our big event this year, which is our annual Cosby Awards, otherwise known as the Cosbys. And that's actually happening on Thursday next week at 8:30 in the morning. It's a breakfast event for the contenders. We have 25 companies that are finalists in this year's competition, and I know you want to know who's won. So we'll be announcing those winners on Thursday morning. If you want to watch the big event, you can do so by following us on Facebook and following WCYB. So it will be live streamed on social media, so you will not miss it. So please tune in at 8:30 next Thursday. And then the other thing I wanted to remind businesses of as we wrap up 2021, we're getting close to the end of the year. And the SBA program, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, will be sunsetting at the end of the year. So there's still time for those businesses that want to or may need to reevaluate whether this might be a good fit for their company. They can still do that and reach out to me, absolutely, before December 31st. That is the deadline. So if they don't have an application in the system by December 31st, they will be unable to receive any funds from that program. If they do have their application submitted by the 31st and they still haven't closed on the loan funds, they're still going to be working those applications that are in the system. So again, I'm just asking any businesses that may be interested to go ahead and put in an application. I always remind businesses that they don't have to take the money, right? So they can still submit the application, see what kind of funding is available for their business, and they can decide later if they want to decline those funds. But if there are any questions, please reach out to me. There have been many changes with the program over the course of 2 years that has been out there for businesses. And so the use of funds, in particular, any business, ordinary business operations expenses can be paid with that. The funding can be used to prepay business expenses. So those are changes. Those are things that were not the case when the program first rolled out. So there were a lot of businesses that saw this program and said, I can't use these funds. This is not helpful. But SBA has made a lot of changes since it was rolled out. So I do encourage people to take another look at that. And if you have some questions, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. Have a great weekend and happy holidays. And tune in and see the Cosbys next week on Thursday. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. Always wonderful to hear and see from you. And we just can't wait to see who the winner is going to be. Now we're going to have a networking opportunity. And Justin Hartzell, Events and Communications Coordinator with your Kingsport Chamber, is going to randomly select 5 attendees. And I guess this isn't going to be Justin. Is this going to be Nicole? And they will give you a minute to introduce yourselves.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Alan Silverman.
Hi, Justin. Hello, everybody. So I am actually the marketing coordinator and development director for Kaplan Cfo Solutions, and so I have really enjoyed getting to know the market and the businesses that are operating here. You know, it's always a challenge coming into a new market, and the folks at Cosby and the chamber have made it so easy, and everybody in this community has been so inviting and supportive. So I am not peddling anything. I'm not selling anything. I'm just thanking everybody on this call and beyond for the gracious welcome that we've received and all the support and the opportunity to get to meet everybody. So thanks again and happy holidays.
Thanks, Alan. I hope I say this right. Lena Agrawal.
Hi, this is Lena here. I own a Kumon Math and Reading Center here in Johnson City, and I just opened a second location in Kingsport 2 weeks ago. And I'm a new member in Chamber of Commerce in Kingsport, and I'm excited to know everyone there. This is my first meeting. We are located on North Eastman Road in the same shopping strip where Panera and Starbucks is. So Kumon Math and Reading Center is for kids from pre-K through 12th grade, and we offer 2 subjects, math and reading. Stop by. We are there on Tuesdays and Thursdays afternoon if you have any question. And thank you so much for this presentation.
Thanks, Lena. Mark Easterly. Mark, are you there? And let's see. Karen Short. All right, that may be everyone. Is there anyone left that would like to speak, that would want to be called on? Okay, back to you, Ramona.
Okay, well, thank you to all those for participating in our meet and greet. Always a wonderful thing to be able to have a moment to introduce yourself, and let's put names and faces together, and also welcome Lena for the new opportunity in our Kingsport area. So thank you so much. Now, the beautiful Nicole Austin, Membership Engagement Director with your Kingsport Chamber, will share our new members and upcoming events.
Good morning. We have 11 new members to welcome to the chamber today. 58 Foundations of the Tri-Cities offers quality drainage products and sump pump insulation to help keep water away from your foundation, keep your basement safe, dry, and usable for many years to come. From Johnson City to Oak Grove, they stand ready to help their valuable customers in the Tri-Cities area. Community First Bank Loan Production Office opened in 2021 in the Holston Business Development Center. Kingsport banker Brad Hoover is the primary contact for loans. Community First Bank's corporate office is in, I'm going to say this wrong, Seneca, South Carolina. Sorry, Brad. But Brad Hoover would want you to know that this is only a few miles from Clemson, South Carolina, which of course we all know is where he went to school. They have 12 full service offices, including 2 in Elizabethton, Tennessee. Eat My Art bonbons and candies. The former owner of Custom Coffee Cakeries, Erin, has expanded her business into incredible works of art. Miss Coffee studied under Edwald Nodder, who's a world-famous chocolatier, and Jack Johnson, who is her father and a professional of baking and pastries. These fantastic candies are entirely handmade right here in Kingsport, Tennessee. They are located off Eastman Road. First Citizens Bank has been helping families and family businesses to make more of their finances for more than 120 years. Visit firstcitizens.com for more information on their bank. Foundation Systems Engineering and Construction Materials Laboratory. Since it incorporated in 1979, Foundation Systems Engineering has provided professional engineering and material testing services in the areas of geotechnical, geoenvironmental, and construction materials testing and observation. Foundation Title and Escrow. They are an innovative title company. Their mission is to disrupt the title industry by continually challenging conventional thinking, by enhancing the consumer experience, and to ultimately better the lives of their teammates. Kumon of Kingsport, we just heard from Lena. Welcome aboard, Lena. They are part of the world's largest after-school math and reading program, helping children of all ages become self-learners. Nick's Restaurant. Nick's has been blessed with the opportunity to return a Kingsport landmark back to its origins of scratch cooking, friendly, efficient service, a strong sense of commitment to the community, while balancing the need to be committed to bringing Nick's forward with healthier menu choices, a fresh atmosphere that will appeal not only to their longtime faithful customers, but entice the next generations to experience Nick's as many have for the past 83 years. State Line Services, keep your HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and drainage needs in perfect functioning order with the region's premier home comfort company. Because your peace of mind is their priority, they offer affordable rates and quality workmanship to ensure your home systems stay up to date and any problems are solved quickly. Strategic Growth Logistics is a trucking company. Trucking delivery company started by Greg DePriest in Austin, Texas. His vision has always been to return to the Tri-Cities, and when Amazon opened a local delivery center, that vision was fulfilled with Strategic Growth Logistics. They are now focused on giving individuals opportunities for professional and financial growth. And finally, Tennessee College for Applied Technology in Elizabethton. They serve as the premier suppliers of workforce development throughout the state of Tennessee. This branch is located in Elizabethton, and students can study a wide range of highly skilled areas of need. For more information, visit tcatelizabethton.edu. We have a few announcements this morning. Tickets are on sale now for our inaugural New Year's Eve bash. This is going to take place at Metaview at Ramona's lovely facility. We are really excited about this event. You can get your tickets today online. Also, the deadline to sponsor for this event is coming up fast. It's coming up on Monday. So if you want to sponsor, reach out to Stephanie and she will help make that happen for you. DKA has a very busy week this weekend. We have a full day of Christmas planned downtown for Saturday, December the 3rd, beginning at noon. There's the Shop and Hop that's going to take place from 3 to 5. There's Santa's Workshop in Glen Roos Park. You can also have pictures with Santa, letters to Santa, and the Very Merry Food Truck Rally, followed up by Jingle Jams on Broad at 5 p.m. At 6, there's the Jingle and Mingle Christmas Parade that's going to take place downtown, followed up at 7 o'clock with the tree lighting ceremony. So lots of activities and things to do for your family this Saturday. Join us for all of those events. We have partnered with Northeast State for a job fair that's going to be held on December the 7th at 5:30 in the Douglas Room at the V.O. Dobbins Center. You can reach out to Laura Barnett, for more information on that event, or visit the Workforce Development Facebook page for the Kingsport Chamber. Tune in to the Cosbys. Audrey has already talked about this, but I want to reiterate, it's going to be a great event. We want you to jump on for the live stream Thursday, December the 9th at 8:30. This is a hybrid event. You can check that out at Cosby's Facebook page and also on the WCYB Facebook page. And finally, we're going to wrap it up with Healthy Kingsport Stepping on Leave Step Challenge. This is continuing through this month, so it's not late to start logging those steps. It's going to end on December the 31st. You just need to download that Walker Tracker app. And the purpose of this, of course, is to help us reach the goal of 4 million miles walked in Kingsport this year. Thank you all.
And thank you, Nicole, and welcome to all of our new members. Next, Stephanie Hernandez, Membership Event Director with your Kingsport Chamber, will provide some closing remarks.
Thank you, Ramona. Your Kingsport Chamber would like to encourage everyone to get their vaccinations. If anyone on this Zoom meeting would like to schedule the mobile van to come to your business, please reach out to our office. Your Kingsport Chamber is very committed to helping get our community back to normal the safest way possible. If you have any questions about best practices during this time, please visit our website, kingsportchamber.org, for guidance. Your Kingsport Chamber is here to help you, our business community, to rebuild and become stronger than ever before. We would like to thank Kaplan Cfo Solutions for sponsoring our Virtual Friday today. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend.